Age of Enlightenment, part 26. Trump is a shit show. In America, it's exactly what you voted for. You know, before you clutch your pearls at that brash statement, just realize, America, you voted for the most vile man to ever occupy the Oval Office. So clutch your pearls all you want. But I have receipts, and I don't have to look back very far. So just in the last news cycle, Trump told a lie that even a dumbass Trump supporter and voter can look up and prove is a lie. How many trade deals has he negotiated? But he won't talk about. He's negotiated, he said, 200 trade deals. Do me a favor, when you get an opportunity, Google how many effing countries we have in the world. Just Google how many countries are there. On my phone, it came up 195. So if there are 195 countries, how in the hell, as the people back in my neighborhood used to go, how in the hell can you come up with 200 negotiated trade things with 195 countries? Unless you doubling up on some, maybe you got 2 or 3 with Taiwan and maybe 4 or 5 with China. Let's face it, he's lying his ass off, as usual. And you know, we've gotten to the point, he arrested a judge. Let me repeat that. He arrested a judge. Okay? That's where we are, people. That's where we are. Okay? So if you didn't know the shit show had come to town, it is now pulled up in your driveway. And let me tell you, if it hasn't affected you yet, you just keep clutching your pearls because it's coming. Everything is going to be more expensive. Well, I think prices on just about everything has already gone up. But now the constant lies don't help, right? Because if you say, oh, everything is great, don't you worry, I got a plan, but everything you buy is more expensive, more companies are closing, and, you know, he's even lying about who he's talking to, like, oh, I talk to China, you know, all the time. China's like, no. China's like, stop lying. We're not talking to you. There's no negotiation. Folks, this is where we are, okay? And if you don't think we're being judged by this idiot, take a trip somewhere. Go outside this country. Because during his first term, during his first time as president, I actually traveled out of the country. And I remember my wife and I, you know, being in Israel. And the cab driver that was taking us around, oh, Trump loves Israel. And we're like, you know, Trump loves Trump. But the Israelis thought Trump was the best thing since sliced bread, at least the ones we talked to. And we, you know, maybe talked to a handful, so I don't want to represent all of Israel with a handful of people that I talked to while I was traveling. But my point is, when you're judged by this idiot, when you're traveling, you're, whoa, well, I didn't vote for him, or I voted for him, but I thought his policies would be different. Try explaining that to people in another language in another country. See how that works for you. And as far as this country, every poll that I've seen, and maybe there's some that aren't upside down, but just about every poll I see, like economy, you know, foreign, you know, negotiations, you know, the border, he's upside down on how Americans feel about how he's handling the border. So folks, it's simple, okay? It's here. The shit show's here. So we can try to vote it out, impeach him, charge him, but we can't let it stand. We have to do something. Yeah, I post to my 5 social media followers, so that's my thing. I make a couple of phone calls to my representatives. But John Ossoff, one of my senators, has already said, I think he should be impeached just from what he's done already in the first 100 days. And John, I agree. So, you know, my calls are falling on receptive ears, but, you know, they're not in power. You know, we don't have the Senate, the Congress, or anything. So good luck with that. Folks, it's a mess. It's a hot mess. And it's exactly what we voted for, I'm ashamed to say. So let's not do this again. Please, for the love of Pete, let's find some other useful idiot that you guys can get behind and not tear the country down. Okay, let's start there.